All right, go live. So, all right, we are back live with a special segment
Yes.
from Workvine 209, the Eric and Linda Show, and I'm Eric.
And I'm Linda, and we're coming live from Workvine 209 out here in Tracy, California. Hot Tracy, California.
Yeah, it's hot.
And yeah, it's hot. And so what we're doing is we're bringing people and communities together to share encouragement with those out there, listeners that need help or tools to build their businesses. And we do have a special couple that we've just met through our live show, and we're honored to have them on our show. And so I'm going to have Eric introduce them.
So, we had them on, I think it was last week, and we had some technical difficulties and challenges, but we decided that, what they have to share and what they bring to the table is going to be very powerful. And so, Jazz and Kisha are our new friends. They're entrepreneurs, they're book writers, they're pastors, no, or maybe not pastors, but they believe in the word. And so, they've done a lot in their community. And so we are going to be bringing them on shortly. They are people who live to intend to help you design your future. They're a dynamic husband and wife duo, passion to inspire. They're authors, business owners, entrepreneurs. And one of the things that we talked about last time is that one of their quotes is to dream childishly and live passionately. And so we're going to be welcoming them shortly. But before we do that, I'm going to drop in the chat box here, the link. If you guys want to come on to, or if you want to know a little bit more about StreamYard, there's a link that'll tell you a little bit more about StreamYard. But also, I want to put in the link as well for those who may want to come in and ask some questions for Jazz and Kisha. And
you know what I like about them most is that they're a husband and wife team. They're a duo, and that's what we have in common is that husband and wife team. And we have our ups and downs, and more ups than downs, but it's a journey, and what a great journey to be on with your spouse. And it really is helpful. Like, I know there's a lot of people that say, man, I wish I had another me to do this and this and that. Well, in this situation, I do have another me, and that would be Eric.
Yeah. So cool. So, without any further ado, we definitely want to bring them on. Jazz and Kisha, welcome.
Hello, how you doing?
Good afternoon.
It's good. How are you guys doing today?
Oh my
Great.
We're doing great. We're doing awesome. Pleasure to be here. You two are amazing.
Yes,
thank you for what you're doing for the community. And thank you for bringing us back on. We are super excited. I think there's always a place for positivity and motivation and inspiration, especially in today's climate and environment. And so thank you for the platform for us to be able to share a bit of our heart with the California and surrounding communities.
Absolutely. I'm excited to have you guys. I know, there's so much going on in this country right now, and it's impacting us, there's COVID, there's, the Black Lives Matter, and all these things are very important to us,
Yes.
and they're dear to our hearts. And so, even during these challenging times, we still want to be able to help and uplift and encourage. And so, how do we do that? By bringing on Jazz and Kisha, right? So, do you guys have any words or any thing that you may want to just say to the people out there that are listening, that are maybe going through some of these challenging times? And
Yeah, absolutely. So, we're all about entrepreneurship, and we're prepared to encourage all of the entrepreneur spirits today. But one thing that I realize is that it's very hard to separate who you are from your brand. You are your brand. And when you have situations going on like what we're seeing today, you are impacted. And if you're not impacted, then I would say check your heart and, really kind of get one-on-one with yourself to understand, we've got a hurting nation. There are people in the nation that are hurting who need our attention. And while we would love to go on with business, and we can, and we do, and we will, because we have to, right? You also have to deal with what's going on the inside of you. So I have this thing where I tell people, you want to build a brand, you have to build yourself first.
Yeah.
And so every single day, you still, even after you've launched a brand, you still have to build yourself up every single day. And so, we deal a lot in that with positivity and affirmations and different things like that. So I would say to the people and to the community, I know it's hard right now for some of you, and I would just say stay encouraged, understand who it is that you are, and try not to take on the narrative that if it does not align to who you believe yourself to be. Don't take on that narrative, but just stay positive and try not to go negative. I know sometimes it can get tough, but we've got to be who we want to see. We've got to be what we want to see in the world, and so part of that is, to be a change agent, you gotta have that positivity going, just in that vibe. My husband has on the positive vibes on the shirt today. We need it.
Yeah, positive vibes.
Yes, there's a saying, be the change you want to see.
Yep.
Be the change
Absolutely.
you want to see.
Yeah.
So,
So you guys out there who are listening, be the change that you want to see.
Yes.
You heard that here.
Absolutely.
Jazz,
Yes, sir.
what do you have for us? What encouraging words?
I would say, first and foremost, that we all have the ability to be better. Like you say, we talking about, be the change that we want to see, that we actually have that ability. And I think that, change starts at home. It starts at home, it starts with yourself. And I think that, when we walk in that, the spirit of change, when we walk in the spirit of betterment, we have the ability to sow the seeds that, the next generation can be better than us, right?
Absolutely.
So you start with your children, man. You start with yourself, and that's really all you can control. I can't control how people feel, how people think about me or anybody else, but I can control what I teach my children. I can control what I read, what I put into my spirit, and I can control how I treat people. And that's where it starts.
Absolutely.
amen.
Yeah, that's good.
That's where it starts, in the home. I totally agree. If you can change, like I take my business and I take the same concepts as parenting to my business.
Mm-hmm.
I love my children. I love my business, and what I teach my children is, how I teach like my employees that I work with in a different way, but in the same way, with respect, with dignity, and true passion and care for the other person. So I think, if we start really learning how to love one another, I know it sounds kind of corny, but if we could just learn how to love one another,
Yes.
that would change. It would change a lot of people.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
good. Love. I love you.
Love you.
All right, so let's jump into business. I know we talked about a topic, and there's a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners to be that are listening and watching and want to know, before you start a business as an entrepreneur, what are some of the things that you need to do? And so maybe you can share a little bit about, what you guys want to share with the people who want to start that business.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll back up just a tad bit because we realized that you've got this was us. This was us. We can speak for ourselves too. You've got people who are going into a 9 to 5. They're commuting. They're going through Tracy.
Yep.
They're stopping by the work buying center. Every single day. But they're going to a job where they are absolutely not super excited about it. We'll say that. And so you've got individuals who are just two degrees away from wanting to do their own thing. They have an idea. They kind of know what it is that they want to do. And those are the individuals that we're here to speak to today, to encourage them, to first, think about you. Think about what your commute to work is like and really get honest with yourself. How are you feeling about that? Did you go to work with tears in your eyes this morning? And so we really have to get honest with ourselves, because sometimes we get in a place where we're just so complacent and we're so comfortable, but it provides for us and it pays the bills. And we just don't realize the level of unfulfillment that comes with settling. And we were there. We know all about that. So we want to encourage those individuals to, if we just want to plant a seed today, that entrepreneurship is an option. Small business entrepreneurship is an option if you feel like you are living your life and you're here, but you're not living. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think a lot of us get caught up in that rat race to where, we're here, but we forget to live. We forget to dream because of life and life responsibilities. So definitely want to encourage those individuals. And then, I don't think you want to add anything else to that.
Yeah, it's just that, like Kisha said, we get complacent sometimes, and you get caught up in this idea of duty. I gotta pay bills. I gotta send the kids to school. I have to do all these things, and before you know it, you get trapped in the cycle of duty, but you're unfulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
So then you wonder why so many workers are disgruntled. You wonder why they're so angry. It's because they're doing. I mean, yeah, you're taking care of your family, but you're not fulfilling that dream that's inside of you.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Eric.
That's really good, because that almost like speaks to me. I mean, I've always had a little side hustle no matter what.
Yep.
But there's been times where, I had this job and I was spending 4 to 5 hours a day on the road, that I was away from my family. And so there was very challenging. There was a time where I was working and it was like, man, I hate going here, but I had to go there.
Yep.
And so now, I've gotten the opportunity to retire from that, but, doing some of the things that I love and that I'm passionate about is exciting. So I'm excited to come here to my own business every day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We all should be, life is too short. So we all should be at a place where when we show up, it's something that we get to do. And I think I may have started alluding to that on the last one versus something that we have to do. This is a completely different feeling, and you give yourself differently. And so, yes, so before you start a business, I need for the folks to understand that you can do it. You can start a business, and you'd be amazed at, just some of the things that can come out of just a quick brainstorm with yourself, understanding who it is that you really are, understanding what it is that you're passionate about, and then just kind of writing that out. And you'll be completely amazed at, okay, I've had a business on the inside of me all this time, and I've done absolutely nothing with it. And then the next thing is, once you understand that it's an option, entrepreneurship is an option for you, and you understand kind of what your passions are, what your strengths are, what they align to, then you can go into the whole notion of, kind of fleshing that out a bit more. What would that look like from a business perspective? Now, I will say for us, we didn't have the luxury of doing all of that. We did
Share
not.
more.
There is a story behind the start of Driven that that kind of led up to it, and it looks a lot different than what I'm encouraging people to do. But the reason why I'm doing this now and encouraging people to go after your dreams is because I sat in a corporate career for 17 years. I learned a lot. I moved around a lot. I was promoted a lot, but I was not happy with the culture. It was a very toxic culture, but I showed up there every day. And what I did is I committed to myself on the inside that, you know what, I am going to make it hard for them to tell me no the next time. And so it was basically like feeling like I was climbing a mountain. And like every time I would get a little height, it's like the rock would come from underneath me, and then I'd fall, and that was what my career was like for 17 years, but I kept going to that. And there are so many people out here that keep going to that because we feel like, okay, this is all that's there for me. This is comfortable. I know this works.
Yeah.
But you don't realize you are losing so much of yourself every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year. You show up in that environment that reminds you every single day that you're not preferred. Okay, you lose parts of yourself. And so after that 17-year career ended for me, it was very abrupt. It was a nasty breakup. Mentally, I wasn't who I used to be. I wasn't that go-getter. I had lost myself in the shuffle. And I had taken on a lot of the toxic types of things, mental, I guess the plantings, if you will. I'd taken them on as a truth, and I knew better than that. So I had to go through and I had to scrub, and I had to go through a process to get me back. And so I just want to encourage people that, if this is your situation, if you're showing up to a toxic environment every single day and you're not valued as the person and your contributions that you're making to your organization, then business entrepreneurship is an option for you. You've learned a lot. You have so much experience behind you. You'd be surprised at what people are willing to pay you for. People will pay you for your knowledge. Okay.
Yep.
So, and I think a lot of people don't realize that, if you've been in an organization and you've been in their marketing department for 10, 15 years, you have something that a new entrepreneur would love to get from you. And you put that, package it in a course, make it into something educational. And there you have opportunity to make an obscene amount of money. Right? A lot more than you were making at that job when you were going in unfulfilled and and unhappy, So we just want to, we really do. We want to wake the winner that's within you, because I feel like there's a winner in all of us. And sometimes we just get lost. We get lost in the shuffle, and we become internally broken because we constantly expose ourselves to situations that aren't made to build us. Instead, they break us. Okay.
Amen. Yeah.
That is good.
Yes.
I can relate to that. I used to work in the Bay Area, and I had a great job. It paid well, and I was like, oh my gosh, what do I want to be when I grow up? And I'm in my late 30s. I'm like, what do I want to do? And it was a blessing in disguise. I ended up getting laid off. And when I got laid off, I said to myself, I'm never going to be what I want to be if I continue with this job. So I was grateful and thankful that I was laid off, because it was that kick in the butt to really start looking into myself and saying, what can I do? Now, years after that, I still worked for other companies, but I was searching. So it's not like you have to dive off the diving board right away. You could just stick your feet in and fill out the water, and then then your whole leg gets in, and then so it's that way.
Yeah.
Eric and I, we when we opened WorkFind, we did it was like a belly flop. It felt like it just happened all of a sudden. We didn't really take our time, but timing, I think it was God's timing for us to start this business. And it's been really impactful for not just us, for the people that are in our sphere, in our community. our memberships. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. Get that side hustle going, everybody. Like she said, it doesn't have to be all in, but do start, because a lot of times that dream that's on the inside of you, you'd be surprised at how many people have taken that dream with them to the grave. And that means that the people that they were built to serve didn't really get to experience their true value, their brilliance, what they had to bring to the table. So we want to get that out of you. We want to get that out of you. Pay attention to it. Give it some time, give it some thought, get that out of you, get an idea, get a plan. And then there are a lot of things that we could cover on this whole before you start a business deal. But we like to give some individualized, custom type of attention because no business and nobody's situation is the same. And so we're offering what we're calling free consults. They're 30-minute before you start your business consult. So we just kind of get to know you, get to understand who you are. Thank you for showing the link on that, Eric. And we'll have some one-on-one conversations with you. We have been at the feet of millionaires over the last 12 months. I feel like the best way to start is having as much knowledge as you can, because we're not oblivious to the stats when it comes to small businesses. Because there are some challenges, with small business startups and things, and the stats aren't always favorable. I know the last source we looked at, I think it said like 50% of small businesses fail in year one. And then 95% of those fail by the year 1 through 5. Yep. So the stats aren't against us, but the way we change those stats and the way we actually get better is we do a knowledge transfer, we do knowledge sharing. And as new entrepreneurs, with 2 years under our belt, okay, now you have people who aren't 2 years yet. We're taking everything that we've learned, everything we wish we would have known, reached out to some of our entrepreneur friends, talked to them. Hey, what's the one thing you wished you would have known before you launched your business? And we're packaging that all together, and we're making that available as a resource to individuals who are thinking about starting their small businesses, so that you set yourself up for greater success and you avoid some of the pitfalls and some of the mistakes that some of us have made. And so we're going to make sure we ask that question of you too, before it's all said and done, before we finish our resources to Eric and Linda. So that you're inputting your feedback. Yes.
That's really good. That's really good. So for you guys that are listening, you're going to need some tools to start that business. Mm-hmm. So, right now I think is a good time, to contact Jazz and Kisha. Their bit.ly link was right there. It's a call to action. If you want to start that business, or you not sure what to do, or you're seeking for guidance, right? We're a resource, Linda and I, but Jazz and Kisha have the resources that you need as well. Mm-hmm. And so, I would advise you to contact them and find out a little bit more.
Yes. I want to say something. There's something on the, your bio that I read that I want to revisit from our last live stream. And it says, dream childishly, live passionately. And so I think that is, something that's the foundation. I think you have to start there. You have to dream and, and do it childishly.
Yes.
And passionate. So last time Jazz spoke about it, but can you revisit that thought of what that means?
Yeah. So the whole idea with dream childishly, live passionately, it comes from the idea that children, when we're little, there's nothing that we can't be. You may come and say, "Hey, I want to be a race car driver. I want to be an astronaut." And you say it like it's easy. Like there's no complications. There's nothing that tells you no. And as we get older, we experience rejection. We experience opposition. We experience heartache. And those things begin to chip away at the very foundation of our confidence, the very foundation of our faith. And we view the world basically through our own particular lens of perspective. And we develop our own worldview. And based on our worldview, that's what determines what we can and can't do, right? Whereas when you're a child, you don't have that. So yes, dream childishly. And then I begin to talk about, like, when I say live passionately, I'm talking about living like there's no tomorrow, like tomorrow is not promised. You know, when you have that dream, go after it like there's no tomorrow. Because one of the things that separates some of the greatest people is the fact that when they have a dream, they go after it, and they go after it hard. They work harder than anybody else that has a dream. Then we wonder why they're where they're at. It's because they worked hard. It's just that simple. They had a dream and they worked harder like there was no tomorrow.
Man.
Yeah, I think that is so relevant for right now, for even the young people out there that are protesting. You know, they have to learn how to dream childishly and make the differences that we need right now, in their coming years, because it's, you know, it's the kids that are, it's their future. So you know,
Absolutely.
now's the time to start doing something and passionately about it, to see that change back to be the change you want to see. You know, I'm speaking to those young folks out there, you know, dream it and do it.
Yes. Yes. Stop wishing and start doing. Absolutely.
Start doing. Wake up that winner. That's what I got. We all have a winner inside. And so it's your own job as an individual to wake that winner up, you know. And sometimes we may need help, you know, and like Jazz said, you know, you may have encountered different challenges throughout your life that cause you to think that, you know, I'm nobody, or I can't do this, or hey, I'm scared. And sometimes you need someone to just hold your hand through it and to wake that winner up. And so, you know, I'm very excited about what you're saying. I mean, I know I'm a winner, right?
Yeah.
And so we
Absolutely.
got to talk. I'm gonna talk to this camera. I know I'm a winner.
That's
right?
a sermon. I think you preached that sermon. Actually, we all are winners because we made it, right? We're here, you know. Out of all those thousands of whatever. We made it.
Yes. So Eric, you alluded to something, and it's something that I talk about every chance I get, because one of the biggest things we find that keep people from being everything that they were meant to be is fear. And one of the, you know, people are afraid of knowing who they are, believe it or not, because for so long they believe that they are a failure. You know, they've been told that by parents, unfortunately. They've been told it by whoever and whomever. And so they are afraid to really get to know themselves, because a part of them, they're fearful that it might be confirmed that I'm a nobody, you know. But if you spend that time and really get to know you, I will guarantee you will find something about yourself that is awesome and it's great, because God didn't make any mistakes in making any of us, you know. And so despite what, you know, people may have tried to put on you, you know, coming up, or what they may have said to you, or how they may have treated you to make you feel that way, there's something great. You know, we are all fearfully and wonderfully made, and we have to believe that about ourselves, and we can't allow the fear of finding out that we may be a failure keep us from exploring us, because you're going to find the direct opposite. God doesn't make any mistakes. You have a purpose, you have a calling, you just have to figure out what that is. But this right here, mindset, that's why we start there. If you look at our website, we start with affirmations, positivity, all of that, because unless you're positively aligned with who you are and what the greatness is on the inside of you, you'll always be stuck. So you got to get past this right here, because it's everything. You know, it's everything.
That's
mindset.
Right. That's right. God didn't. He didn't make any mistakes. He's not a man that he should lie.
No.
Right? And he also didn't give us a spirit of fear, but of a sound mind.
Love,
so
power, sound mind. You are right. So those of you out there who are listening, those of you who have been a part of our live show, you know, all we're saying is to release that potential. Wake up that winner that is inside, because we all have it. And sometimes we need that help. We need that support. And that's what we're doing. That was one of the reasons why we created this show, is to bring people like Jazz and Kisha on to excite your spirit, to change your mindset, to shift how you're thinking, right? And so if you can start doing that, start saying, I am this, I am the head, and not the, I am above and not beneath. I mean, but if you don't speak that and you keep saying that I can't do this, I don't know, it's going to be too hard. Well, how do you even know if you can't do, if you don't even give it a shot? Try it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. At the bottom of our website, you'll see whether you think you can or can't. Either way, you're right. If you think you can, you're going to do it. If you think you can't, you won't. So either way, you're right. But I would challenge you, always believe in you. Believe in you. Believe in you.
Look at that. Right. You only, I was going to read that.
Go ahead.
That one right there. It says, you only fail when you fail to start.
Yep.
There it is.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
You know, there. Before we leave out here, there was a book that you guys wrote, and it talks about it's an art. It's an art to the art of move, and there is an art to wanting more out of life.
Yes.
And so the book speaks about that. Do you want to give a quick excerpt of the book?
You want to give
I can do it. So the art of more, which obviously we talk about strategies about getting more out of life. But the reason why it's called the art of more, because it's kind of an art in how you navigate your life to getting exactly what you want. Right? There's a way how you strategically think about life. There's a way how you maybe artistically express yourself, depending on what it is. But there is an art to being the person that you want to be. I'm a firm believer, this may sound crazy, but I'm a firm believer that success is easy. I think the difficult part is becoming the person that deserves to be successful. That's hard. Once you build yourself to become the person who deserves to be successful, success is automatically attracted to you. Right? I'm not talking about from magic. I'm just talking about from pure habits, from pure seeds that you've sown. Because the world is built off a reaping and sowing concept. So when you build yourself to be a person who's deserving of success, success automatically comes. It's just difficult to be a person who deserves to be successful.
That is good. That is a good note.
I'm gonna rewind that and go back and say that again.
You know, that is so good. That's
Isn't it? Yes. And one more thing I just want to add on to that, because I know this will resonate with a lot of people. I had someone near and dear, and I won't put her on blast, but near and dear to me. And we were talking about maybe, trying some new things in life. She had seen pretty much where she was stuck. She was stagnant and her life wasn't moving. And so I was proposing some things. I was like, hey, why don't you do X, Y, and Z? Come move with us and do all this other stuff. And she said, what if I don't want more for myself? And that crushed me. But you know how many people out here don't want more for themselves? Because they haven't really been awakened to the idea that they can have more. They've seen so much in life that it's like, I think this is kind of where I've been. So this must be where I'm supposed to be. But there really is an art to it. And part of that art is drawing out and understanding that, one, you deserve more, And so once you realize that and you accept that for yourself, then you can begin to go after success and the success that you feel like you deserve. Because there are so many people who are living beneath their intended design right now. And there are a lot of reasons, life experiences that have put that in them, but you've got to want more before you can start going after more. So I just want to please want more.
You're so right. There are so many people out there that are they're either comfortable or they don't even know that there's more out there for them. And sometimes it takes, a couple like you to bring it out of them. Like, you know what, there is more. And let me show you how to get more. And let me show you how to dream more. And let me show you the art of having more. So definitely get in contact with you two, Jazz and Keisha. Eric, you put
Yeah,
the
I got a
website
few people
again
that are
for them?
chatting. They enjoying you guys. We might have to do a double take on this. We might have to do it again. This is
Hey,
really.
I'm down. I'm down. I'm down. Whatever.
It even helps me and it gets me excited. Even I mean, I dream a lot and I love to dream. I think we talked about that last time, and but sometimes, like you said, people don't even know how to dream because they don't even know what's out there. But when
Absolutely.
you start to surround yourself with people that have influence, and then they start taking you places and showing and sharing to you things that you've never seen before, then you can begin to get excited, and you can begin to dream again and start
Yes.
having that passion and desire and start thinking I can do it. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
this is really good. Really
Yes.
good information. I'm getting a lot of comments over here, but
Yes.
wonderful discussion. Love it. So
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
this is good.
Thank you for coming out and driving all this way to
Thank you. For
us. I mean,
Yes.
this is what it's about. It's really bringing people together and collaborating, partnering with one another to help other people.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
our mission,
Yes.
to help people. It's always been our mission, and
Yes.
and to be around people that are like-minded or that truly want to help and are passionate about it. Those are the people you want to get connected with, and those are the people we want to bring to the listeners out there. Is get connected with these people that we bring on our show because they will make a difference. in
Yes. Let's
next
do it.
steps. So
Yes.
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Let's chat.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it again. We're doing a lot of different things. I know Linda and I, we are on live every Tuesday and Thursday. This was a special edition, and I feel like we're going to have some more special editions. But just for you guys that are still out there, something to think about. What do you want out of your life? What does your life look like? Right? If you don't know that, then you need to start thinking about it. It's never too late to start thinking about it. Doesn't matter if you're 15 years old, 6 years old, or 80 years old, right? You still have some life in you. You deserve it. You deserve more.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes.
Any last things you guys want to add before we move on?
I'll go first.
You go ahead. I'm good.
I would say that, like I said, success can come to anybody. It's just, first of all, you have to believe in yourself. And second of all, you have to change your worldview. And the only way to change your worldview is to find people that's living a life that you want. Or at the very least, find people that are working towards living the life that you want. And I think that when you align yourself to those kind of people, you'll start to find that your perspective on success and on life begins to greatly shift because you're really seeing it manifest in their lives. And that's what gives you faith. That's what gives you hope. When I start seeing other people successful in areas that I want, it encourages me. So I would say, anybody can be successful. And if you're not finding the level of success where you are in life, change your circle because you can find it.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right.
all right.
So we encourage you guys out there to go out there and be successful. Be all you can be, and you can do it too. All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jazz and Kisha. Thank you, guys.
Linda and
Thank you.
Eric. It was a pleasure. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
You guys, I'm glad we got that other little glitch fixed out, but it's all good. Well, I'll see you guys, and you guys have a great day. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.